Now that there are too many streaming services and they're getting more and more expensive, we're checking out some of the best and worst horror movies across Netflix, Amazon Prime, Shudder, Crackle, and so on to see, are they worth buying a physical copy to preserve? I'm Rob from the Masters of Nonsense, and I watched Sleepaway Camp on Peacock. Is this movie worth streaming or owning? I'll cover this in the only way I know how, using wrestling lingo. The Gimmick. Sleepaway Camp was released in 1983. Short synopsis of the film is, Angela Baker, a shy, traumatized young girl, is sent to summer camp with her cousin. Shortly after her arrival, anyone with sinister or less than honorable intentions towards her gets their comeuppance. Basically what ends up happening is, this girl shows up at camp and is randomly the target for everyone. Pedophile wants to take advantage of her, some of the boys are interested in her, the girls are jealous of her, and without real reason, everyone turned heel on her. And for mostly very good reason, those who wrong Angela meet their demise.
3 minutes and we're out of here.
I have a short attention span. With little time to spare, I make my initial judgment on a movie based on the first 3 minutes of the film. And the first 3 minutes of Sleepaway Camp are a whole lot of nothing. We get mismatched music over shots of an empty camp that has a for sale sign on it, and that's pretty much it. Obviously this is foreboding for what is to come for the rest of the movie, I suppose, but it's just kind of boring. Worked into a shoot. I struggled to get into this movie. I saw some potential but lacked interest in actually watching it. This could be because of my bad timing or even the movie wasn't for me, but it took me 3 sittings to watch this 90-minute movie. And quite honestly, the only reason why I continued watching it was for this project. I knew the movie had some cachet with horror fans, and since this is my first time viewing it, I felt like I owed it to the genre to actually try to finish it. And I'm glad I did. This movie is campy, pun unintended, and weird. There are moments that left me super confused as a whole, but I figured that was due to the fact that maybe I wasn't paying attention at times. But it all comes together in the end, and it is one of the most memorable scenes and twists in genre history. I am not going to spoil that for you because you have to see it for yourself. And that ending is exactly how I got worked into a shoot, going from very little interest in this movie to being obsessed with the film. I'm recording this a month after watching it, and this movie still has not left me. I remain curious about the entire plot, how this could be written, shot, and released, especially in the early 80s, and how come I wasn't hearing more about it before. The Big Leg. 2023 marks the 40th anniversary of this movie, and this little cult movie generated such a dedicated following that there's conventions and meetups all to celebrate Sleepaway Camp, with the cast and crew all being very involved as well. Sleepaway Camp turned into a franchise after this original movie came out, and it runs 5 movies deep. From what I've seen and my research, the first 3 movies are the most loved among fans, with the original still being unmatched. I'm really interested to see how this series evolved over sequels and plan to watch them in due time. Going Home. As I mentioned, I watched this movie on Peacock, and at the time of this recording, it is also available on Plex, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Tubi, Redbox, Freevee, and more. Let's take a look at what the Blu-ray version of the movie can get you. On top of the movie having a new rescan in high definition, there is commentary tracks with the director and writer and star of the movie. There's interviews with cast and crew and a scrapbook, a short film called Judy, and theatrical trailers. Really not too much here as far as adding to the overall experience, but there's still some meat to the bones. Between streaming or owning this movie, it is a toss-up. With coverage across paid and free streaming services, there really isn't a reason not to watch this movie, if you haven't already. But don't watch it like I did. Really pay attention to the movie, especially the open and close, because they are crucial to really getting into this and appreciating what this movie does and will do. For me though, I do plan on buying this on Blu-ray because I don't want this getting lost in the streaming shuffle. it is just one of those extra titles that's there, and I just don't want to forget about this movie, even though it has left such a lasting impression on me. So between streaming or owning, this is 100% an owning movie. I want to buy this physical copy, and I will after this video is done. Let's call for the bell because now we have our decision. This movie takes an official spot on the Masters of Nonsense movie shelf. Are you thinking about getting this movie now? Do you think the decision should be overturned? Let us know by joining the discussion on our Threads page and all of our social media available on this screen. Like, subscribe, repeat. Always repeat.